Welcome to the One NFP Financials and Financials Lite training on applying vendor transactions. So I have a scenario. I had an invoice and I paid it with a check, but then I voided the check. So the invoice is sitting there open and I entered a purchase credit memo for it. But I didn't apply the purchase credit memo against the invoice. So if we go into outstanding payables, now let's filter on my vendor. I know it is vendor 220. We're going to see both entries here. They're considered open because they haven't been closed by something. If we look at the vendor balance, let's go to the vendors, and we look at our vendor, the balance is 0, and that makes sense because we have a credit memo and we have an invoice for the same amount. So there isn't a balance. We don't owe the vendor anything. But those documents are still considered open. So there's an easy way to take care of this. If we open up ledger entries, we'll see the entries for this vendor. We've got the payment and we've got the voiding of that payment. And you can see the invoice is open and the credit memo is open. So if I select that invoice and I apply entries, it's going to show me what is available to apply. In other words, what's open. Now, in some scenarios, you may have payments and you're applying a partial amount against an invoice. You would be able to change how much you're actually applying. In my case, I'm just going to do the whole lot. So I click Set Applies to ID. What this system will do is it will actually post an entry to the vendor, I believe the detailed ledger entries table. So it has to know who's doing this. And then posting. So I'm going to post that application. We come back to the ledger entries. It's all closed. And now we've closed the loop on that entry. If we wanted to, you could go back into ledger entries and you can actually break that connection with the unapply. It's very much the same thing where you will have to process something because it posts and it would break that connection. That's all on applying ledger entries. Keep your eye out for more training, and thank you.